Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. Today I wanted to do a really quick composition. I watched a YouTube video recently of a mixed media artist who creates for the Mixed Media Place, and I loved what she created, so I thought I would go ahead and give it a try. I will link her video after my video so that you can check her out. I want to be able to give full credit to where I got the inspiration, because I am copying it using different supplies, but copying it nonetheless, just because I wanted to experiment with what this kind of process looks like. So, and I apologize for the focus again. The camera doesn't like the white. So these are some of the supplies that I'll be using. I'll be doing some stenciling with my Crafters Workshop Light and Fluffy modeling paste. I'll be using some metallic colors of paint, which is what I pre-painted these little bits, including this chipboard. So I'll be using that. I'll be using this to create some color in the background, some beautiful pinks and corals. And then this one I'm excited about. I swatched this out. It's yellow pink. This is an Opal Magic paint, and so it has a surprise effect. So I'm going to be surprised by what it does. So what this gal did on her project is she did some background stamping first, and I've never really tried that. So I'm going to try that today using a variety of stamps, some butterflies. I loved this script, so I'm going to do a little bit of this script here. Some roses, because my paper embellishments are all roses. So I thought that would be really cool. And then my sentiment is this one here, just smile your beautiful smile. So I'll be stamping that out on some sort of paper here throughout the video. So I'm going to get started with my background stamping, and we'll see how this goes. It's fun to try new things, so I appreciate the inspiration from other artists, because sometimes the ideas don't come for me. So I'm really glad to have the opportunity to watch other YouTubers. So I'm going to, I am going to pull out another butterfly, because I want a little more variety in size, I think. So let's see if it's going to stick on here. It's not. My stamp blocks are really not very clean, which is really a sad thing, because I'm a super clean crafter, but my stamp blocks are just a train wreck. This one just is not going to want to stick, so bear with me here a second. Well, let's see if we can make it work. Sometimes this brand of stamps, I believe that these are Finnabair stamps, and sometimes I have this issue with them, that they get all bent and then they won't lay flat on the stamping block, which might be why I'm having some difficulty here. I may not be able to use that one. So let me see if I have better success with a different one. It's the same size though, so we'll see. I really like this one because it says, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So I really resonated with that, so I thought I would do that. I'm not working on a very big surface, so I think this size stamp will be just fine. So I'm going to do my first stamping here. Because I'm working on a wrapped canvas, I'm not going to necessarily get an excellent impression, as you can see there, because it's not solid behind this surface. I tried to find a book that was small enough to go behind there, but I was not able to. So I'm going to go over here with this too. Almost wish I'd put this on a wood panel, because this is not good, but it's okay. I'm gonna go with this really little butterfly. Actually, I think I'm gonna try this one with my fingers and see I actually think she might have just used her fingers to do this, so yeah. And this is just creating some visual interest in the background, because there's going to be paint and some stenciling and things that's going to in large part cover this up, but I thought it would be pretty to get it out here. I think I'm going to do the same thing with this one, or maybe I'll try this one now since I've got those words now stamped a few times. See if we can, what we can get with this one. Let's see if I go kind of off the board here. Yeah, it's a little bit messy, but it's okay. Again, it's just mainly for background interest. So I think that's good with the butterflies. I did get a little bit of ink there, but that's okay. And I was going to use this circle too. I really like it, the simplicity of that, so I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to do some what's called second generation stamping, which is not re-inking it and just putting it back on the surface, which was what I was kind of trying to do with the butterflies. Not maybe too well. And let's go up here and over here. Okay, so let's see what else I wanted to use. I wanted to do some, a couple of roses. I've filled up this surface pretty much. I probably should have left some space for the roses, but I didn't, so we're gonna just wing it here. It should be okay. I'm just gonna gently lay this down. Hopefully it will make a good impression. Yeah, I like that. Not bad at all. It's going to be a little bit busy background. I'm actually going to stamp this off on something because I do want a second generation stamping here on this rose here. Oh, I like that. So let's do this. Get a second generation, just so it's not quite as bold. I think I'm going to go up here in this corner and like that. Yeah, I like that. It might be a little bit busy, but I've never tried this before, so just playing here. Just having a good time. Nearing the end of our summer vacations, school summer break, so going to be going back to work in some form or fashion here shortly. So I'm excited to get back in the routine. While I'm going to really miss being able to kind of create whenever I want to, but all good things must come to an end. I like this stamp. It's really subtle. Let's go up here a bit, and I'm going to do a little second generation over here. This was way more than the other artist did. Hers was much more subtle, but I'm doing my own thing here. So I'm going to quickly heat set this, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm ready to do some stenciling. So I decided I would pull out Shawn Petite's lace stencil for this. This is one of my favorite stencils that she has designed, so I'm going to use it on this project. And I'm going to be doing the texturing with light and fluffy modeling paste from the Crafter's Workshop. I really like it. I tend to like it a lot for art journaling, but I also like it just in general because it's just really a smooth application. It dries fast, things like that. And I'm going to go ahead and lift this because I don't want too much texture all in one place. So I'm going to bring it down here in this corner a little bit. Let's see where I left off. I want to make sure I don't really mess up what's already there. Wow. Okay, I think maybe just a little bit up in this corner. Ah! Ah! Okay. Just a little bit up here. Not sure what's going to end up here. Probably nothing, but thought I would go ahead and just play better safe than sorry here. Just want to get the excess off the sides here where it gave me a little bit too much. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in some water. Be right back. I do have a bucket very near my desk, so I just have to simply get up from my seat and go and drop it in the water. And then at the end of my creative session, I will go ahead and wash them. So I'm just going to show you a close-up of the texture here. So this is the texture that lace stencil created. Really, really gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera one more time and dry this really quick. Okay, so while I was drying this, I did go back and do a little bit more texturing here with some a script stencil, because I felt like the background stamping that I did was going to be way too bold and messy and overdone. So we'll see how this turns out. And it is all dried. But also while I was off camera, I went ahead and stamped my sentiment, and I just stamped it on some watercolor paper, and then I did heat emboss it. So it's got kind of that little bit of a shine. So that's going to be my focal sentiment there. So now I'm going to go ahead and come in with my paints, and I'm going to start from the lightest and then go into the darkest, hopefully. So I'm going to just get a little bit of this out, and this is the Art Alchemy acrylic paint. This is just a metallic. It's not the Opal Magic. The Opal Magics are the ones that change color depending on the surface and whatever else they are interacting with. So that is not this. So I'm going to get a little bit of this out and get it on my mat, and hopefully let me scoot this over so I can get you in screen here so you can see. I tend to lean towards the right because that's where all my stuff is. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of this out. It's probably too much, but we'll see. And I am going to spritz it with a little bit of water, just in my little water bottle here. And then I'm going to get a brush. I'm just going to start applying this here and there. Let's see what we get, folks. Kind of want to go in this kind of diagonal shape here, because I did have to do more stenciling. It's going to be kind of different than what I had originally planned, but that's okay. I love it. I love it already. So now I'm going to go ahead and spritz this with a little bit of water. Kind of let it run a bit. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. It's hard on my camera. This isn't running terribly much. I don't know if I just don't have enough. Get a paper towel here. Try to keep it off my edges though. So I'm going to go ahead and sop some of that up just because. So far so good. I think it needs a little bit elsewhere though, where I've got this text. This is not going to have that diagonal flow that she had on her piece just because I think I overstamped, so, but it's going to be beautiful nonetheless. And that's because creativity is beautiful, no matter what you're doing. You're expressing yourself, it's a good thing. So I'm going to spritz that just a little bit just to get that paint to move a bit. Run a bit here. And run this way. Okay. So now we need to, I'm going to wipe this up. I know it's a little bit wasteful, but I don't want to put my arm in it. Sitting in the studio, it's air conditioned. If I turn it off, I'm too hot. If I turn it on, I'm too cold. So I've got my sweater on today. Trying to find a happy medium there. So I'm going to pause the camera here again and go ahead and dry this really quick. Okay, so that is nice and dry, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this does have a metallic look to it. I don't really think the camera's picking it up, but hopefully you'll be able to see that in the pictures at the end. So now I'm going to come in with my next color, which I want to try this yellow pink because my stuff that I picked for my papers does have some yellow in it. If I can get it open. Oh, if these get stuck, they are impossible to get open. I'm not going to get that one open. Okay. I'm going to try the coral green. Oh, yay. I've been told, I heard that if you on these jars, on these jars, if you put a little bit of Vaseline around the ring, it won't do this. I think I've gotten them open before by soaking them in or running them under some hot water, so I'll have to give that a try. My brush. Okay, so now we're going to go in with, this is more of a kind of a coral pink, which I really like, so I'm going to go ahead and try that. And again, I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of water. I'm not sure what different variation I'm going to get. I'm going to try to keep this more towards the middle, just to kind of try to get that V formation or corner to corner look that I was aiming for. Let's see. And then we can do some splattering with this and get the various colors in the background on the parts of this canvas that are more white. I don't want that big glob there. So here we go, running, 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 and running back. And yeah, I think that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do some splatters now though, just because I've got this paint up. When I splatter, it goes everywhere on my desk. I have my surface covered, but it goes on my computer because it sits like really close to my surface here of my desk. So I'm going to wipe that up, and I'm going to go ahead while I've got this, just because it's not going to matter if this mixes a little bit, I'm going to get a little bit of this out as well and do some splattering with the pink, the lighter pink. And I'll also be doing that with the green. But we're going to see how that goes. I think it's going to be really pretty because we're going to need some contrast here in a little bit. So I'm going to keep scooting. Okay, so I'm going to pause the camera again for a few seconds and dry this. I don't know if you can see the variation in color at all. There's the lighter pink over here and then that more coral color. So we'll see. Okay, that is dry. So I did find a couple hopeful things. I was able to get this jar open. It's rustic brown because I really want to accent this with some deeper, darker colors. I also pulled out this royal red because I'm gonna, once I get all my stuff stuck down, I'm gonna go back and put a little bit of that on as well. But in the meanwhile, I want to do some dripping up here with this darker red, this, hopefully I can get it open. I should have tried to get, there we go. This a royal red. So I'm gonna try it. This is not what she did at all, but I think it's gonna be a perfect color for this composition. So we're gonna do it. So basically what you do is there's a couple ways you can spritz your thing first, like this at the top, and then put some paint on. Just run a bead of it across the top. I like that. So far, so good. Guess I'm gonna go all the way across. That wasn't really my intention, but watch it run. This is magical. Oh, I love that. Love that, just like it is. Yay. I am gonna have to do something around the edges because I'm getting a little bit of paint here and there that I didn't want, but I'm gonna just spray this one more time just to get that to run a little bit more. Add a little bit more paint up here at the top. I wasn't gonna go all the way to the left here, but I think, oh, sorry, off camera. Just repeating the process, guys. So I'm getting way more color on here than the artist that I was watching did. She had, her color was just very, in very specified areas, but this is working for me and I'm really liking it. So, and that's the cool thing about art, is it's your creation, so you get to decide what you do with it. So I'm gonna again pause us and dry this. Sorry guys, I thought the video was going while I was yakety yakking. I put the green up here. I don't know where it cut off, so I'm just going to continue talking. If I end up having to do a voiceover, so be it. But I did come in with that green, the rustic, what was it, the golden moss, excuse me, and then I put that here and there around the canvas, down here in the corner, up here in the right hand side, and then the lower right. And then I love how it mixed with the pink in here. So I think that's going to be really pretty. So when I realized it wasn't taping, I was getting ready to turn the pause the camera and do some drying. So just a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, that is nice and dry. I love how it mixed with the pink down here. Just those little splatters, just really appealing. I love it. So I'm not going to do anything else with that at all. I'm going to start putting together my my bits. So I will probably come back to this paint here as I move along, but for now I'm going to go ahead and work on getting the focal image here together. So I took a picture of what I created, so I'm going to pull that up here just so that I have an idea of what I had laid out. And I'm going to be using my Liquitex Heavy Gel. my heavy gloss gel to adhere my pieces. So I'm going to get that out. I'm going to get a tinier brush. Sometimes I just use my finger because that works on some of the pieces better than using a brush. So like on this, I'm probably going to be better off just using my finger, but I do need to get some out. I like to get it onto my desk so that I'm not having to dip into the jar. It's kind of messy. So we're going to get some matte gel on this. And one of the techniques I like to do is just use a baby wipe to press it down and to get rid of the globs that you see here that are going to be oozing out. Because when I press this into the surface, naturally the excess is going to try to get out. And I am leaving some white bits. I really like that effect, and I'm really pleased with it. So I'm not gonna destroy that. So there we go. So let's see. Oh, my phone locked again. Might have to work a little bit. Oh, I forgot something. Doggone it. Hang on. Sorry, folks. I wanted to put it up on these other bits. Oh, wow. I have these little, this is some clay molds that I made with my Prima molds, and I just cut this one in half. It used to be like this, and so I'm going to be applying it in 2 places here. So sorry about that. Best laid plans. So we had, oops, come on, phone, don't do that. So we had this kind of up here towards the top, right about there. And again, I'm going to use my little baby wipe technique because it allows me to touch the surface of the thing I'm gluing down without getting my fingers all sticky with glue. That's not adhering very well. So let me get something heavy to set on top of that. I may have to touch up the paint when I'm done because this might disturb it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that bottle on there. See if that will help that to stick. Come on, come on, there you go. Moving down to the bottom one. I noticed that one of these ends of this was not quite flat. So when I took it out of the mold, I didn't make sure it was flat as it dried, and so it did dry with a little bit of a curve. So let's see. I do have to take this off to figure out what my placement is for my circle thingy again. About right there. So I didn't even need to put glue all over that chipboard because it's not going to be, I may have to put something underneath it to make sure that it has a place to stick. So I'm going to get a couple of pieces of cardboard, I think, because there's not really going to be anything showing underneath this. It's going to be filled in. So I think I'm going to be okay to just get some cardboard and build that up a little bit. It doesn't have to be very thick because the chipboard, or these pieces, aren't all that thick. I'm just going to tear some of this off and just put it in bits here. I just want to make sure it doesn't go outside of the, you know, outside of the circle. I want it to be able to touch, but not. I don't even remember how she did this. I've not done this exactly before, so I know she had it kind of like that. Well, for now, I'm just going to try to get this in place where at the touch points that I already know, which is here and here. So let's start with that. I'm going to borrow some trouble here. And then here. This is always the part of the video that takes the longest. The learning and growing as I go here. And okay, so we'll get that in place. And get my baby wipe. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. There's going to be stuff covering this up, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. I just need to figure out where the best place. I think maybe this needs to be rounded a little bit so it's not affected by the circular nature of that chipboard. So let's just try it. Got nothing to lose, right? And put some on the top too. I do need to get that to stick. I don't want it to come out because I don't want it to show. Okay, we're going to do the same over here on the other side. Doesn't have to be a very big piece of cardboard. This is probably bigger than it needs to be, but I'm just trying to play it safe. So I'm going to stick this one under this side. And that, again, in case I'm not making a lot of sense, that's just to raise that surface up so that this chipboard has something to stick to. The matte gel doesn't dry instantly, so we'll have to kind of be a little bit careful. I have to turn my phone back on. It locks really fast, so, oh. Except it's a finger thing, and my finger's sticky. There we go. I think one more piece of cardboard, maybe. Phone, stay open, please. Stick that one under there. Again, we're going to push down, get a little bit of contact there. Okay, I'm going to call that good, see what happens. So the next piece is, this is the similar part to what the gal was doing on the YouTube video, is she'd used a couple of tags and put them on the, on her focal point here. So I'm gonna just lay these in place because I'm not sure where I want my flowers to go, so, and they need to go under this before it gets really super dry. So I'm going to start with this rose. It's going to be tucked in here under this corner. So I guess I did still need that. I have the matte gel out, so I may as well use it. These smaller, or these thinner pieces don't really require a really heavy duty glue, but I'm going to go ahead and use it since I have it out. So this little baby is going to go under here. It's really pretty, except my cardboard's there. You can slide her over there a little bit. And then I have a little white rose that's going to go over here on the others, well, maybe right here, even though I'm not going to be able to tuck it in quite as much because my cardboard is there, but that's okay. We're going to get this baby in here. Maybe slide it under there a little bit. Yeah, beautiful. I like that. And then we've got a little bit of some green leaves that I thought would be pretty sticking out over here. I don't remember what this collection is. I think it's Bo Bunny, but I'm not sure because I took it out of the original packaging when I bought it, which I won't, now that I'm doing YouTube videos, I won't be doing that because I really need to know who the maker is of the things that I'm using. But at the time, I didn't really recognize that or the importance of that. So I've got that, and then I've got another pink rose that's going to go up here in the top bit here. Again, just a little bit of that matte gel. She's going to get stuck up here, just kind of under there, just kind of hiding, peeking out a little bit. And let's press that down a little bit. Okay, and how are we holding up? I think we might be good to go ahead and adhere this. I'm a little concerned about this is not really holding, so let me get a little bit of more matte gel in there. It's not sticking. And it may just be that it needs more time to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can stick that bottle on top of here again, because that's the only place I'm really having trouble, is that side. So balance. There we go. This one seems to be doing better, but we'll see. Experiment. Okay, so then we've got this. I love this. This is cotton. I believe this is a cotton stem, and I thought it would be really pretty, and it would add a pop of white to the design. So we're gonna use this. Just kind of on the little flower heads here, and tap my phone so it doesn't go to sleep. And we're gonna have to move you, honey. We're gonna get this baby in here. Let's see if we can get her all the way down here on the side. Come on. I know. I've got cardboard there, right? Ah. Can we make her turn? Sure. Why not? Come on. We need you in there. Okay. So you're not going to go in. We're going to just tear you off. Improvise, my friends. It's the beauty of mixed media. I love that. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm thinking though that this is too light. It's just a piece of regular cardstock. So I think I'm going to reinforce it on some cardboard. So I will be right back. All right, I was able to adhere the larger tag to a piece of cardboard. I'm not doing that with this one because it's got this scallopy mess, so I'm not going to do that. But I think this is going to be okay. It's going to create a little bit more structure here to this part. I may do that still. I'm up in the air. I wonder if I put it on a piece of watercolor paper, a heavier paper, it might do the trick. So I'm going to go ahead and get some matte gel on the back of this. And I'm just going to put it all over. I'm not sure where it's going to actually make contact with what's underneath it. So I just thought I would go ahead and just slop it on. Doesn't hurt. Probably definitely up here though. And how we doing there? This is probably going to help that all to stick better too. creating some stability here with this tag. I really like that. Love that look. But now I'm too far over, so I need to scooch her just a little bit. There we go. So, because I don't like how that's gonna be down, so I am gonna go ahead and try to cut this on something thicker. So I'll be right back. Okay, I was somewhat successful. It's not perfectly straight and whatever, but I think it's still going to be better than not having that solid bit underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this with my matte gel. Heavy gloss gel. This is how it goes with experiments sometimes. You just never know what you're gonna get. I wished I had, I wish that I had browned up the edges, but I still might be able to do that with the blending tool, just to kind of give it a little bit of a brown look there. But let's clean up a little bit here. Okay, so what is next? I have a big butterfly, I have my sentiment, and I have a baby butterfly, or oh, I forgot the leaf. Where was that leaf supposed to go? How about we put her up here? It's looking a little barren up there. Scraping up the matte gel there. Let's get her up here. And just try to get it under that edge a little bit. She's pretty well glued down there. That's good. You want them glued down well. And there we go. So we now have a sentiment, which I think also needs to go on some cardboard, because I think it needs the dimension, and then I think my butterfly can go up here. So I'll just leave the camera going this time. I'm probably going to do a voiceover on this because it's going way longer than I like, so I'm going to keep talking just in case, but probably going to do a voiceover. I really love popping things up on cardboard. It creates a really nice effect on a project. I do it quite a bit. I really like it. Okay, trim this baby up. I just save my cardboard from packaging and just stick it in a drawer, and then I have it whenever I want it. Actually, the edges on that is actually kind of cool. It's kind of rustic and rough. So now we're going to go in here and did get a little bit of paint off of that green bit. I'll have to touch that up. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere my sentiment. And like it says, just smile your beautiful smile. Thought this was a really kind of fun, playful piece, so the sentiment seems to be good. And then we'll kind of make her go off here. I'm just going to cover over the pink butterfly, but because we are using a pink butterfly to accent this, I think that's going to be just fine. And so, where'd you go, pink butterfly? Oh, there you are. So now we're going to get this little beauty on here. think we want her up here by the, kind of maybe under this just a little bit. I don't want it to cover up the tag hole. I kind of like that. So there's my butterfly. Where'd the baby butterfly go? She probably blew away. Where are you, baby butterfly? Where are you? She's lost. She was just here a second ago. What happened? Well, we might not get a baby butterfly because I'm not going to dig the stuff out again. So it's okay. I think this is just going to be just right. So now I am going to I'm going to end the video and just let you know that well, no, actually I'm going to go ahead, as I mentioned before, I want to apply some of this darker royal red, but I don't want it to affect those papers. So you know what, I think I'm going to just call this good. I think I'm going to splatter a little bit with this bright red because I think that will be a good addition to the page or to the canvas, and then I'm just going to call it good because I really don't want to affect these flowers. They're really beautiful. I'll probably do a little bit of charcoal shading around some of this to make it pop off. But I'll do that off camera. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've seen what that process is like. So I think I'm just gonna take it off camera because I really want to leave this as a real-time video, but I'll have to go back and listen to it and watch it and see what I think. I'm going to take some of that really brighter red and splatter. Oh, I don't want it on, there's some of this cardboard. I don't want it on this stuff. So I think we're too runny now. I want it to really kind of stand out a little bit. A little bit more. Get up here. And I'm going to shift this so that I can cover these flowers because I don't want it on those flowers either. So as you can see, I didn't end up coming in with any darks. I think the green was sufficient dark. So here's just a close-up. I am going to come in off camera and go ahead and touch up that where the paint, some of the paint came off when I had that bottle sitting on it. So, and I'll be coming around and doing some charcoal edging around these pieces. I'll paint the sides and I'll be doing I'll frame it with some charcoal as well. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll be able to leave this as a live video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.